Story 1: The Postcard from the Past. I've always loved the 4th of July. Fireworks, grilled food, kids laughing in the yard, it just felt safe, familiar. But last year something changed. Something I still can't explain. It started with a postcard. I live alone in a small rental house in Connecticut. It's old, creaky floors, crooked windows, the kind of place that makes you feel like it's watching you back. On July 3rd, I went to check the mailbox like I always do. Inside, there was a single postcard. No stamp, no return address. The front showed a faded image of a fireworks display from what looked like the 1940s. The colors were off, almost grayish, like it had been sitting in a dusty attic for decades. On the back, in neat cursive handwriting, it said, "Don't go to the fireworks. July 4th, 9:15 p.m., trust me." That's it, no name, no explanation. I laughed at first, figured it was some weird local prank. Maybe a viral TikTok thing, scare your neighbor or whatever. But something about the handwriting gave me chills. It looked too perfect, like someone had written it with a fountain pen and absolute intent. And it wasn't new. The ink was slightly faded. The paper smelled like old books and damp basement. Still, I put it on my fridge with a magnet and went about my day. The next evening, my neighborhood came alive like it always did. Flags waving, burgers sizzling, someone down the street playing Bruce Springsteen way too loud. At around 9 p.m., people started gathering for the fireworks near the community field. It's just a short walk from my house, 5 minutes tops. I almost went. I even put on my shoes, but something stopped me. I just couldn't shake that feeling, that the card wasn't a joke. So instead, I stayed home. I sat on my porch with a beer, feeling like an idiot while everyone else walked past, excited, laughing. Then, at exactly 9:15, the fireworks started, and everything went wrong. Not with the fireworks themselves, they were beautiful, but as I watched them explode over the treetops, I noticed something strange. The sound was off, like it was slightly delayed. I'd see the flash, then a heartbeat later, nothing. No boom, no crackle, just silence. And then the sky flickered, like someone had flipped a light switch in the sky, on, off, on again. The colors of the fireworks were wrong. They went from red, white, and blue to green, then violet, then black. Have you ever seen a black firework? I hadn't, until that night. Then came the whispers. Not loud, not clear, but I heard them, dozens of them, maybe hundreds, whispering names I didn't know, and one that I did, mine. "Ethan, you stayed. Good." I stood frozen on my porch. Across the street, a family was sitting on their lawn, watching the sky, completely unfazed, laughing, clapping, as if they didn't hear it, as if nothing was wrong. But the world felt split, like I was stuck between two versions of reality. The air got heavy like before a thunderstorm, but the sky was perfectly clear. The fireworks continued, but now the explosions hung longer in the air, suspended, slow motion. I swear I saw one just freeze midair, the sparks not falling, and then it was over, just like that. 9:27 p.m. Silence. No more fireworks, no more whispers, just normal. I checked the postcard again. I was sure the handwriting would be gone or different, but it wasn't. Still the same, still slightly faded, but now there was something new. Another line written in smaller cursive below the original message. "You listened." That's how it starts. I haven't told anyone who would believe me, but this year it's almost July again, and I keep thinking about what it meant. That's how it starts. What starts and what would have happened? If I had gone, there's been no second postcard, no voice, no warning. But every time I hear a firework pop in the distance, I feel like something's waiting, watching, and counting down. Story 2: The Firework No One Launched. I grew up in a tiny town in upstate New York, the kind where the gas station is also the diner, the post office, and half the town's gossip source. Every 4th of July, we'd all gather at the community park for fireworks. Kids with glow sticks, parents in lawn chairs, someone always burning hot dogs and pretending it's fine. But last year, something strange happened. Something none of us can explain and no one really talks about anymore. It was the year we didn't have fireworks, or at least, we weren't supposed to. The town had canceled the show because of wildfire concerns. The state had been bone dry for weeks, and the fire marshal said even one spark could light up the hills. Disappointing, but understandable. So on the night of the 4th, most folks stayed home. No big party, no music, just scattered backyard barbecues. A quiet, oddly still summer night. I was sitting outside on the back porch, beer in hand, scrolling through my phone. It was just past 9 p.m. when I saw it. A single firework, bright, red, and impossibly high, exploded over the town. Silent, no boom, just a bloom of color that faded unnaturally slow. I thought I was hallucinating. I even rubbed my eyes. Then came another, green this time, still no sound. I wasn't the only one who saw it. My neighbor's porch light flicked on, and I saw old Mr. Reynolds step out in his robe, looking up. Across the street, a kid pointed at the sky and yelled for his dad. More fireworks followed. Blue, gold, silver, dozens of them, perfectly spaced out, drifting down like dying stars. But here's the thing, no one launched them. There was no crew, no platform, no permission, and the colors, they weren't quite right. They shimmered like oil on water, too fluid, too alive. Then something weirder happened. My phone buzzed, a push alert from the town app. It said, "Thanks for attending this year's fireworks show. Happy Independence Day." I stared at the screen. The town had canceled the show. I double-checked the original notice, still there, plain as day. No fireworks this year. Confused, I turned on the local scanner app. Some of the chatter was normal, noise complaints, lost dogs. But then one voice came through, shaky. "Dispatch, I'm at the North Overlook. I swear I just saw people. Standing out there, in the trees there, lit up like sparklers, not moving." The dispatcher told him to stay calm and check it out. There was no follow-up, just static. The next morning, I walked to the park. Just wanted to see if maybe someone had pulled off a last-minute fireworks show. But there was nothing. No signs of launch equipment. No burn marks. No wires. But the grass where people usually sat, it was pressed down. Like dozens, maybe hundreds of people had been there. There were no footprints. No trash. Just that slight indentation in the field like the weight of invisible bodies still lingered. When I got home, I checked my phone again. The push notification was gone. No trace of it in my history. I even emailed the town council. They replied. There was no fireworks show this year. The town strictly followed the fire ban. But here's the thing. Every night since then, at exactly 9:15 p.m., I've seen a flash in the distance. Just one, like a spark from a firework that isn't really there. It doesn't matter the weather or the season. And sometimes when it flashes, I swear I hear applause, very faint, like it's coming from somewhere just out of reach. Some people say it was just a glitch, a prank, a freak reflection in the sky. But I know what I saw. And the thing I can't stop wondering is, if no one launched those fireworks, who were they for? Story 3. The Game with the Light. I'm not big on fireworks. Don't get me wrong, they're beautiful. But ever since I was a kid, loud noises made me anxious. I'd rather sit in the background while everyone else oohs and ahs under exploding lights. That's probably why I noticed it first. Something not quite right during last year's 4th of July. My younger cousin Ryan had brought over his new drone, a fancy one with a 4K night vision camera. We thought it'd be fun to record the neighborhood fireworks from above. Get some cool aerial shots, maybe throw them on TikTok. We launched it right after sunset, just as people started lighting sparklers and bottle rockets. The drone hovered silently, blinking its little green light as it filmed from a few hundred feet up. We didn't look at the footage right away. Just let the battery run down, landed it, and stuck the SD card in my desk drawer. Didn't think about it again until 2 nights later. We were bored, the celebration was over, and we figured we'd finally check out the drone footage. I connected it to my laptop, expecting colorful explosions and blurry silhouettes. What we got instead was confusing. The first few minutes were exactly what you'd expect: flashes in the sky, tiny crowds on lawns, kids with glowing necklaces. But then Ryan paused the video. "Wait, did you see that?" He rewound a few seconds, froze the frame. In the upper right corner of the footage, just beyond the last row of houses, stood what looked like a figure. No face, no color, just a dark silhouette, not moving. At first I figured it was a tree or a flagpole, but as we kept watching, the silhouette showed up again. Closer. Still. Always on the very edge of the frame, like it was watching the show with us. Except it wasn't there when we flew the drone. I would have seen it. I was standing right under the drone the entire time. We scrubbed through more footage. Every few minutes the figure was there, sometimes near a porch light, sometimes by the woods, once even standing on someone's roof, perfectly still. That night I couldn't sleep. Every time a car passed or a light flickered outside, I felt a weird pull to look out the window. And just before 3 a.m. I saw something, a figure, in my backyard, not moving, not approaching, just standing, barely visible in the glow of the motion sensor light. I blinked and it was gone. I didn't sleep at all after that. The next night I sat outside, on purpose. I turned the porch light on, then off, then on again. I don't know why I did it, maybe to prove it was just my imagination. But when the light flicked on for the third time, I saw it again, that same silhouette, a little closer than before, like it was playing a game with me, like it only moved when the lights went out. I tried to film it with my phone, but it never showed up. It was like it only appeared through the drone footage, and even then, only at night. Ryan thought it was cool, said we should film again this year. Maybe we caught something paranormal, he said, but I don't want to because now I see the silhouette even without the drone. In reflections, in windows, always near light. Sometimes I think it's waiting for the next 4th of July. That maybe we invited it, gave it attention, let it in by accident, and now it's playing a game with the light, and I don't know the rules.